Shalom Akim, Yahal Bashim, Yahushua Bashim, Kodash, double and salutations to the elders and apostle group, Mr. Well, and the Akim pushing the words in the name of Yahushua and how he's in byways, but I'm not sure DC camp. So you can see, see the buzzword on the screen, economy. That's exactly, what a lot of people are focusing on these days, man. The economy, the economy, the economy. All right, so the economy, goes into different things, man. It's a deep topic. All right, but for to be brief, I'm just gonna get straight to the point, okay? Because Esau needs to have total control of his economy, and he's gonna do certain things to make sure that he has everything on lockdown, and that's the exact reason he's moving towards cryptocurrency. He wants to be able to track and control every facet of transactions, financial transactions, that's taking place between people. Once he's able to control that, that's it. That's what he's gunning for. And his ultimate goal is also to have control over the nation of Israel. All right, it's trying to prevent prophecy from happening, but nope. The Lord Yabashim Shai is still in control. He runs the show. All right, that's just about it. There's nothing much for Esau to brag about because he sees that he's on the way out. All right, his power structure is being challenged. All right, so I play this video and I skip.
U.S.-China trade talks are set to take place this week. This is the first face-to-face meeting since the G20 summit when President Trump and his counterpart Xi Jinping reached a ceasefire. RT Sarah Montes de Oca joins me with the details. Sarah?
Yeah, so all these trade talks is just about Esau trying to negotiate how they're going to split the pie. The pie, and the pie basically represents the world. They want their so-called these financial corporations, all these rich elite families of Moab and of Edom. They're having an argument of how they could, splice up, the regions of the world, so they could have control and make money. That's all it's all about. It's not about America. All right, that's one thing folks need to understand. It's not about America. It's not about China. It's just about some rich people that are living in these two geographical locations. They want control, and that's what they're competing for. All right, but in the kingdom of heaven, there will be no competition because all that you see right now is vanity. All right, so I play this clip and I'll skip to where the main focus is.
Steve, on Tuesday, trade representatives from the U.S. and China will begin their first official in-person meeting since their truce just 2 months ago. The two-day meeting is set to take place in Shanghai, but expectations remain pretty low from both sides as Beijing waits to see Washington's stance on Huawei, while President Trump told reporters he would not be surprised if China holds out to secure a deal until after the U.S. election.
With China for years and years and years was making from $300 billion to $507 billion a year. Okay, we're taking in billions of dollars from China, and it's all turning around. Whether a deal is made, they're going next week. They have more meetings, meeting after meeting.
And that's just a symptom of Esau going down. All right, he's not pleased that the Moabites are getting control financially. And he's behind. The other nations that used to look towards Esau are not looking towards Esau as much as they used to because they're getting better deals, better so-called financial deals from Moab. All right, so folks would rather go with the lesser of two evils. All right, but in the kingdom, that won't be the option, man. All people have to do is look up towards righteousness in the name of the Lord, the Abashima Shai. All right, and then to be more specific, the nation of Israel. All right, there'll be no so-called competition in the kingdom. Arguing about who's going to split the resources. Nah, that's not what the Lord, the Abba Shema Shai, is going to have take place. All right, because it's going to be a righteous dominion upon the face of the earth. Food shall be plenty, the air shall be clean. Conflict will be it would be something to be barely talked about. All right. So that's just the point, and I get a quick precept here from Proverbs chapter 13, verse 10. Yeah, because this world is a carnal world, man. Esau, Moab, and Ham, and Japheth, they're all talking about, carnal things, so-called social programs and all that stuff, financial investments, security and all that stuff. That's uh, that's trash, when it concerns the Lord Abba Shema Shai. Alright, so this is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 10. So it says, only by pride cometh contention, but with the well advised is wisdom. So the pride of Moab, the pride of Esau, is clashing. They're butting heads right now. All right, they're looking at ways they could make more money, maximize their profits, have more influence. All right, and Esau is not pleased with that. That his pie, his share of the pie is decreasing. All right, his military structure is not as sound as it used to be. All right, so that's making this Edomites lose confidence, and they're pulling every trick in the book out. So if China can't really get an investment done in, with them, it means something is wrong. So Esau is gonna start, disturbing, what you say, destabilizing places where China has investments. That's just another way of Esau getting back at China. Trying to kill two birds with one stone. As many birds as possible. Yeah, because that's what the Lord made Esau, to be able to do, man. To give the world a bad vibration. All right. So another precept. Lord will I make this really brief. So this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 11. There's one more, and that's it right there. So it says, and I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. Yep, all right. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. All right. So the arrogancy, that's upon the face of the earth, that's causing so much havoc and disturbance and the uproars of the people. The Messiah is going to shut it down when he defeats this heathen in this in the final battle coming up in the heavens. All right. So that's just one thing you need to be aware of, and we lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. All right. So that's exactly what you need to look forward to, man. All right, because judgment is coming upon the face of the earth. The pride of the Moabites will be squashed. The pride of Edom will be squashed. All right, so all this madness that we're seeing on the TV day in, day out, its time is coming to an end. And that's what people have to start to focus on, man. That all these things that you see before you,
Meeting,
they're about to, be trashed.
I don't think personally China would sign a deal. If I had a 2% chance of losing the election, I think China would probably say, let's wait.
But he doesn't care. He just want to make more money doing the will of the elites. So fast forward to, marker 233. All right. So that's more getting deep in this cryptocurrency stuff. All right. And they're going to try to do everything they can, to get in the action, getting on the market before Esau, gets in it. Because Moab is not really a leader. They're basically a follower. All right. So they're going along with Esau's plans, but they want to be, they want to dominate it. All right. And Esau's not pleased with it, but at least he knows that he has someone to, to focus on to see how they're able to have control over the people over there. All right. Either through legislation or by brute force. All right. So it says, according to Forbes magazine, the online site, it says China could be about to throw its weight behind Bitcoin. All right, so that's exactly what the prophet's been speaking on, man, since time immemorial. All right, that this Bitcoin stuff, man, it's all gonna be tied in with the mark of the beast, and China is already, pushing in that direction to have a cashless society. Esau is doing the same thing too. So that's the vibration Esau wants, man. A cashless society that his elite will have total control over the dominion, on the face of the earth. I mean, they just don't want dominion. They want to have control of that dominion. All right. So that's one thing Esau's always about, man. To have power over the people, to control their minds, control their actions, control their
Be
movements.
close to investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, over the last few years, China had a tumultuous relationship with these currencies since its ban back in 2017. But now, the world's fourth biggest bank by assets, state-owned Bank of China, has posted pro-Bitcoin information on its website, really explaining its history and just how it works. Earlier this month, a Chinese court recognized Bitcoin as a commodity because it carries value. However, Bitcoin does not have the legality of an official currency, they said, and recent reports suggest China's central bank is working toward creating a state cryptocurrency of their own. Now, Steve, there remains a gap on several issues that need to be resolved before a deal is made, and with such slow expectations already, it remains unclear if and when the
And Bitcoin is just another way, people could make money. The so-called value goes up, they make money. But once the value goes down, that's it. So it's another way of robbing the people. So it's a so-called two-edged sword. Just like the so-called stock market, you buy like 10,000 stocks for $50,000. A year later, it's only worth $200. So you're asking yourself, where did the other, 48, $49,800 go? All right, so it's just another way of Esau playing games on the minds of the people, and folks realize, the elite of the other nations realize they could do the same thing too, to their own population, but they don't want the so-called competitors to have upper hand in their own economy. So they rather go ahead and implement that idea of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, so they could keep that power. Because wealth transfer is also a transfer of power, and that's one thing these elites are scared of. In fact, even knowledge transfer, is what they need to be more scared of. People are waking up, understanding what is going on around them, and they're able to respond accordingly. All right. So Yusuf's gonna do his best to stop the transfer of knowledge among the people. Try to stymie so-called free speech. All right, that's one thing you hear about all these news organizations pushing their propaganda, putting out false information to push people in the wrong direction, shut down channels that they deem as being a barrier to their goals and ambitions. All right, so this is gonna be another precept. Hopefully, it's the last one for this video. So this is gonna be for Jeremiah chapter 48, verse 29. The whole chapter about Moab. So it just lets you know that these Moabites are not gonna walk away unpunished by the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai Shem Kwakadash. So Jeremiah chapter 48 verse 29 says, "We have heard the pride of Moab, his exceeding proud, his loftiness and his arrogancy, and his pride and the haughtiness of his heart." Alright, so that's one thing, I have to understand, that these Moabites, man, they always like to be proud against the so-called Jakes in the ghettos, man. Even the so-called Jakes that live in West Africa, you see how Jakes get treated when they go overseas. They get abused, they get oppressed, they get manhandled. But just part of the curses we have to deal with. So it just proves, who we are according to the Holy Scriptures as Israelites, and let us know who our enemies are. Alright, so these Moabites, man, they're going along with Esau, competing on Esau's playing field. Trying to beat Esau at his own game by dealing, from the same deck. Alright, that's a fool's mindset. Alright. The only way this Moabites can be defeated is through the word of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. And Esau knows that perfectly. Alright. So just the point there, Hakim. So we're just gonna leave it as it is. Pray that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai continues to open up your mind to understand what's really going on upon the face of the earth. You can't be ignorant in these last days. Alright, Hakim, Shalom.